this guy up in Spokane, Washington. His name is Daniel Lewis Smith. He's married, got a wife. He's got a couple of kids. All he really wants to do is help people. And he came up with a product that helps people. And hundreds of people say, yeah, that helps me. The problem isn't that they aren't getting help. And there's people that claim that, their diabetes went away, their cancers subsided or went away, all this sort of thing. And yet the FDA says, hey, it's not approved by us, so we're going to put you in jail for 35 or 40 years and your wife. And there's this guy, I called him this morning. His name is Christopher Eric Parisi. He's the U.S. federal prosecutor. And he's having a good old time. I mean, a good old time. Because he's got the judge eating out of his hand. And he couldn't be a happier camper if he tried. He just couldn't be. He's as happy as they get. Just as happy as they get. So my question to you people is, if they put this man, who thousands and thousands of people want to buy his product because nothing else is getting rid of their diabetes or their arthritis and they want this product. Now he makes it from two substances that are completely legal. This is not like marijuana or something that Big Pharma puts out. No. It's nothing like that. What he's got going is a product that is pretty simple, and all it requires really is for people to ingest it, and it takes your thing away. Now maybe you agree and maybe you don't agree, but have you ever watched those commercials on your corporate, those other channels, not this channel here where you're watching Take Back America or On Second Thought, but on those other channels? Have you ever noticed when they break for commercial, which we're not going to do tonight, when they break for commercial and they bring up these products, oh, get this new product, get that new product, and consult your doctor. And then you see about 20 seconds of may cause heart failure, may cause this and may cause that. All those disclaimers. How does the FDA approve all that stuff, knowing you've got a certain amount of the population that will be greatly harmed? And then every once in a while you see these commercials from a law firm saying, we're suing the makers of so and such a product. Contact us if you took this product and suffered gravely from it. All the time, there are natural herbs and non-pharmaceutical products that can restore your health. But FDA doesn't want those approved. In fact, the FDA, pushed by the, I call the bankster lobby, was pushing really, really hard to get people to not use vitamins. They were trying to get Congress, and every couple of years, people have to go fight this battle over and over again and again. And I wonder why. Why do they have to keep refighting this battle again and again? And the battle is they want to make all vitamins illegal. Now, some vitamins are nothing more than like the Body Essentials blue-green algae. It's simply a water-grown vegetable, compounded, dried, and compounded into a little tablet. And you can go to, I think it's called afamatrix.com, and you can sign up and order this stuff off the internet. And I've had an amazing results with this product. I don't know that it has to get FDA approval because it's basically a vegetable. And so far, the FDA has been unsuccessful in trying to make it a crime for people to simply use a vegetable. Think about that. And in some parts of the country now, they're trying to make you subservient to the point where you have to get a permit from the city to grow veggies. Yeah, to grow vegetables. Some cities are trying to make that illegal because they don't want you having some GMO-free stuff that you grow yourself that they don't have control of. Take a look at this guy. Does this look like your neighborhood gangster selling drugs out of a window on the corner of the street somewhere in a downtrodden? No, this is Daniel Lewis Smith. And Daniel Lewis Smith, his only crime is producing this product that thousands of people swear to. So we wanted to put a camera, and we put in a media request, and of course, the judge, being corrupt as we know she is, I'll get to in a minute why we know she's corrupt, her name is Peterson. She said, no, we don't want your camera or any camera in our federal courtroom. To which I said, why not? In motions. So we appealed that order. And now she's trying to rush this to trial after appointing an attorney Mr. Smith didn't ask for. She appointed this attorney named Matthew. I just talked to him briefly this morning. Only there's a problem. Matthew also represents one of the witnesses for the prosecutor, the U.S. prosecutor, Mr. Parisi's witnesses, who's going to testify allegedly against Mr. Smith. Now, how can Mr. Smith's appointed attorney have this conflict and do due diligence to represent his client, Mr. Smith, and at the same time represent one of the witnesses that are going to testify against him? This is why I want a camera in Miss Peterson's, or Judge Peterson's, if you insist, Judge Peterson's courtroom. But it isn't her courtroom. That courtroom belongs to we, the people. It was built, that whole building was built with federal tax money. It's not Miss Peterson's. And she has an obligation to obey the First Amendment and allow my cameras. Now, it turns out I'm the only one so far who's put a media request in to look at this. Look at this guy's face again. By the way, it's got nothing to do with a Chinese restaurant. Absolutely nothing. He's just holding up a lucky thing he found in his thing there at the Chinese restaurant. You will make a change for the better. That's his philosophy. Make a change for the better. And he's trying to help people be well. And he has a product that seems to work against a whole slew of diseases. I'm not saying his product heals you completely, but he's got a lot of people willing to buy it. And if you've seen the videos from his website, a lot of them are saying this made the difference. And those people donated more than $100,000 to the trust fund to pay for Daniel Lewis Smith's defense, because he didn't have the money. He was selling his product too cheaply, considering what the results have been. I don't use his product, so it isn't personal to me. What is personal to me is Judge Peterson. You have a duty to obey the First Amendment. And my media request is in many, many weeks ago. And there is no reason, Judge Peterson, you should object to me just quietly sitting in the corner of the courtroom with a camera and taping this whole proceeding, so we, the people, can form a grand jury to come after your rotten butt, Judge Peterson. Because to appoint Mr. Smith, an attorney who you should know, if you've been reading all this in this brief, is also representing one of the prosecutor's witnesses. You've got a built-in conflict. You forced it, and now you're trying to rush it to trial, Judge Peterson of the Spokane Eastern Federal 9th District Court? You're trying to rush this to trial, get him convicted by Tuesday or Wednesday, and send him off for 40 years of prison. Why? Because he makes a product that wasn't got the rubber stamp approval of an agency whose own members are on record of saying they're being coerced by Congress and lobbyists to do things in the FDA they don't want to do. That's a matter of record. On fluoride, in toothpaste, and other issues. Miss Peterson or Judge Peterson. You may be just Miss Peterson if we get you defrocked. And there's something about your countenance, Miss Peterson, that just rubs me the wrong way. There's something that doesn't smell right when I look at your countenance, Judge Peterson. And that FBI agent, Mr. Parisi's working with, something doesn't feel right about that little dumpling, whether she's an FBI agent or not. You know, there was just a movie on television the other night, most of you probably missed it. It was about J. Edgar Hoover, who was the first and longest running FBI director and as gay a blade as ever was created in the gay factory. And it was under the table, literally under the sheets. He was a cross-dressing, he liked to be the woman, and Mr. Tolman, both who are dead now, J. Edgar Hoover. But the average public had no clue that the director of their FBI was gay. And he, not only that, I mean, forget about the issue he's gay. He was blackmailing heterosexual congressmen and heterosexual Congress senators, U.S. senators. He made sure, along with LBJ, they had a certain five-star hotel that had a suite where they kept a bevy of young women for them to go do the wild thing with. And he audio taped them. So whenever it came up for renewal of J. Edgar's extenuating reconfirmation as director of the FBI, all he had to do is get on the phone and say, hey, Congressman, we got a tape of you with this young gal. Or, hey, Senator, how's your wife? How's your kids? And, oh, by the way, we got a tape of you humping Miss So-and-so down at the hotel here in Washington, D.C. Be terrible if the news in your hometown got that and your wife and kids saw that. That's the kind of creepy, scummy person J. Edgar Hoover is. And there's something in that. When I look at you, Miss Peterson, Judge Peterson, hopefully soon to be ex-Judge Peterson, because you need to be impeached either by a grand jury indictment, a de jure grand jury, or by people lobbying Congress to get you off the bench. Something wrong with you. When you appoint somebody and force them as the defendant, Mr. Smith's, do we have Mr. Smith's picture still up yet? Can we see his face again? You appoint this attorney for this guy, Mr. Smith, knowing that someone's going to testify against Mr. Smith, who is also represented by Mr. Smith's attorney? You know, there's a couple of special orders in, emergency last-minute special orders, and I tried to get mine in today. But this trial should not go forward on Monday because even Matthew, the appointed attorney for Mr. Smith, has got his own special request into the court saying, I can't prepare to defend him. I haven't been on the case long enough. I need more time. And while we're waiting for that to come around and him to get enough time, let's give my appeal to put my media camera in your courtroom time to go to the appellate court of the 9th District, Federal 9th District Appeals Court, and see if they agree that corruption should be allowed to go on. And by the way, the basis of my appeal, and I think it's worth noting to you, the basis is simple. Mr. Smith cannot get a fair trial if we don't have a camera in that courtroom. We absolutely must have a camera. And I'm willing to share the footage with CNN, Fox, who really don't care because they're pushing the same agenda the bank gangsters want. And that is to take all of our civil liberties away, bit by bit. That's what this, anyway, I've labored long and hard on that.